Wendy's is closing at least 300 restaurants after same-store sales fell more than 11%. But this was once the chain that gave America fresh square burgers, 99-cent value, salad bars, baked potatoes, Frosties, and one of the most famous fast food ads ever made. So what changed between the Wendy's we remember and the Wendy's we get today? Chapter 1. The Wendy's America. Remembers. To understand what disappeared, we have to start in 1969, when Dave Thomas opened the first Wendy's in Columbus, Ohio. Dave wasn't trying to make another McDonald's. His idea was that Americans would pay a little more if fast food felt fresher, bigger, and slightly more grown up. The original burger proved that immediately. Wendy's sold a quarter-pound burger for 55 cents, which was expensive for fast food at the time. The patty was square, so the beef extended beyond the round bun and looked generous, before we even took a bite. Most importantly, Wendy's used fresh beef instead of frozen patties. That made distribution harder, but Dave believed better food was worth the extra trouble. The original menu was tiny: burgers, fries, drinks, Frosties, and chili. Even the chili had a practical reason for existing. Cooked beef that could no longer be served as a fresh burger could go into the chili instead of becoming waste. That simple menu gave Wendy's an identity. We knew what the restaurant did, and everything on the menu supported the same idea: fresh food, generous portions, and dependable value. Chapter 2. When Wendy's felt different. Older. Wendy's restaurants didn't look like every other fast food box. There were yellow packages, newspaper print tables, black window solariums, and faux Tiffany lamps. The dining rooms felt warm and strangely fancy for a place serving burgers in foil. Then Wendy's started adding food that other burger chains barely touched. Salad bars arrived in the late 1970s. Baked potatoes followed in the early 1980s. Later came the super bar with salads, pasta, Mexican-style food, and other options. The baked potato became one of Wendy's strangest strengths. Wendy's actually baked the potatoes in convection ovens, and by 1990 there were Italian versions with sausage, marinara, and mozzarella, plus Mexican versions with taco meat, sauce, sour cream, and cheese. This wasn't random menu clutter. Wendy's was building a reputation as the burger restaurant, where we could also get something fresher or lighter. That distinction became even clearer in 1984. Chapter 3. Where's the Beef had a point. The Where's the Beef campaign worked because Wendy's had spent years proving the joke. Competitors were shown serving huge buns around tiny patties. Wendy's answer was its square burger, with beef visibly extending past the bun. Sales jumped 31% after the campaign took off, and the phrase spread from television into American culture. Then Dave Thomas became the face of Wendy's himself. Beginning in 1989, he appeared in more than 800 commercials. That connection mattered. Dave didn't look like an actor hired to pretend he cared about burgers. He had actually cooked, served, managed, and operated restaurants. Before Wendy's, he helped turn around struggling KFC locations, partly by simplifying their enormous menus. When Dave talked about quality, customers knew the same man had built the restaurant around that promise. And during the 1990s, Wendy's proved that a simple identity didn't require a boring menu. Chapter 4. Old Wendy's experimented more than we remember. Wendy's had some surprisingly ambitious food in the 1990s. The Monterey Ranch chicken sandwich arrived in 1993 with a whole breaded chicken breast, Monterey Jack cheese, bacon ranch dressing, lettuce and tomato on a Kaiser roll. It became Wendy's best-selling non-hamburger and returned several times because customers wanted it back. There was chicken cordon bleu with ham and Swiss cheese, fresh stuffed pitas, a country French chicken sandwich, the Wendy melt, chili chips and cheese for 99 cents, and even a country fried steak sandwich. Wendy's also kept pushing healthier fast food. Its grilled chicken sandwich stayed on the menu for more than 30 years before being discontinued in 2023. Fresh salads to go arrived in 1992, and by 1995, Wendy's was selling more salads than every other burger chain. So Old Wendy's wasn't successful, because it refused to change. It changed constantly. The difference was that customers could still understand what Wendy's stood for. Chapter 5. Then Wendy's lost Dave. Dave Thomas died in January 2002. Wendy's didn't suddenly collapse, but it lost the person who had spent decades connecting product quality with restaurant operations. That matters because restaurant menus create complexity fast. Every new sandwich needs ingredients, storage, preparation steps, training, equipment, and time. Dave had already learned at KFC that reducing menu complexity could make restaurants easier to run.
Now compare that with modern Wendy's. We have burgers, chicken sandwiches, nuggets, tenders, wraps, salads, breakfast sandwiches, breakfast burritos, coffee, fries, loaded sides, bakery products, biggie deals, frosty variations, sauces, limited releases, and collaborations. More choices can sound better, but every additional choice gives the restaurant another chance to slow down, make a mistake, or lose focus. Chapter 6. The burger didn't change as much as you think. Here's the strange part. The basic Wendy's burger still follows much of the original formula. The square patty survived. Fresh beef is still central to Wendy's identity. The Dave Single still starts with a quarter-pound beef patty and adds cheese, lettuce, tomato, pickles, onions, ketchup, and mayo. So the story isn't that Wendy's completely abandoned its original burger. The bigger problem is that fresh beef stopped being such a powerful competitive advantage. For decades, Wendy's could point directly at frozen competitors. Then McDonald's changed its supply chain and began using fresh beef for quarter pounders in 2018. Suddenly, something Wendy's had spent decades using as a major difference could also be advertised by its biggest rival. And fresh doesn't automatically mean light. Once we move from a basic burger into double patties, bacon, cheese, mayo, fries, sauces, sugary drinks, and dessert, we can build a very heavy meal from ingredients that individually sound familiar. The issue isn't a mysterious chemical hiding inside the square patty, it's how much food gets stacked around it. Chapter 7. The fries really did change. If you remember Wendy's fries tasting different years ago, that isn't only nostalgia. Wendy's has reformulated them. The chain replaced its older fries with natural cut fries in 2010. Then Wendy's changed them again in 2021 after years of development, this time focusing heavily on keeping them hot and crisp longer. That tells us something important about modern fast food. Old Wendy's fries were largely designed for people eating inside the restaurant or shortly after leaving the drive-thru. Today, fries have to survive mobile pickup, delivery apps, closed bags, traffic, and 20-minute rides home. That changes the food problem completely. A thin fry starts losing crispness as moisture moves from the potato into its crust, and steam builds inside the bag. So modern fries are increasingly designed around holding texture after the fryer. That doesn't make the new version dangerous. It simply means the Wendy's fry we eat today was designed for a different way of eating. And longtime customers are correct when they say the recipe changed. Chapter 8. Even the Frosty became more complicated. The Frosty might explain modern Wendy's better than anything else. The original idea was almost absurdly simple. One signature frozen dessert. For years, chocolate basically was the Frosty. Today, the Frosty has become an entire product platform with rotating flavors, sauces, mix-ins, collaborations, and loaded versions. Again, more choice isn't automatically bad. The problem is what the change represents. The original Frosty completed a Wendy's meal. The modern Frosty also has to create limited releases, social media attention, app promotions, and new reasons for customers to return. Wendy's took one of its simplest products and turned it into another category that constantly needs something new. That same pattern appears across the menu. Chapter 9. Wendy's still has food. Other chains don't. Not everything from old. Wendy's disappeared. Chili survived. Baked potatoes survived. Salads survived. That is genuinely unusual for a national burger chain. And these choices matter because Wendy's can still give us something besides another basket of fried food. We can choose chili instead of fries, pair it with a baked potato, or order a salad. This is also where food discussions can go wrong. A long ingredient list doesn't automatically mean dangerous food, and a simple ingredient doesn't automatically make a meal healthy. For most of us, the more useful questions are basic. How large is the serving? How much sodium are we eating? How much saturated fat? How much added sugar? How many calories did cheese, bacon, sauce, fries, and dessert add? Wendy's still gives us reasonable options, but it also makes it extremely easy to turn a normal lunch into a very large meal. Chapter 10, the biggest change might be the price. Wendy's once understood value extremely well. Products sold for 99 cents. Biggie fries and drinks were marketed around giving customers more for their money. Later, deals like 4 for $4 became another simple reason to choose Wendy's. Today, that relationship is harder. One supplied source estimates Wendy's menu prices increased about 55% over 10 years. Another cites a 35% rise from 2021 through 2025. Exact prices depend on the restaurant and location, but the bigger change is obvious. Fast food doesn't automatically feel cheap anymore. That changes how we judge the food. Cold fries at a low price are disappointing. Cold fries after an expensive order feel insulting. And if a family's already spending restaurant money, suddenly Chili's, a grocery store meal, or cooking at home starts looking much more competitive. Chapter 11, the experience became inconsistent. This might be Wendy's biggest problem. A good Wendy's can still be genuinely good. A bad Wendy's can be awful. The customer accounts in our sources describe slow drive-through lines, incorrect orders, cold fries, missing sauces, messy burgers, mobile ordering problems, and restaurants that feel understaffed. That inconsistency hurts Wendy's because its original identity depended on being the better fast food option. Dave Thomas obsessed over speed because he understood that customers remember waiting almost as much as they remember eating. Today, Wendy's is experimenting with technology and AI ordering. But technology doesn't solve every restaurant problem. If the menu is complicated, staffing is thin, and execution changes from one location to another, the customer doesn't care how advanced the ordering system is. We just remember that lunch took too long. Chapter 12, original versus today, the verdict now. We can finally compare the two Wendy's. The modern version still has fresh square burgers, Frosties, chili, baked potatoes, salads, and some genuinely good food. But the restaurants surrounding those products change. The fries change. The Frosty expanded into an entire category. The menu became larger. Breakfast added another operating period. Delivery and mobile ordering created new demands. Prices climbed. Old restaurant designs disappeared. And competitors copied some of the qualities that once made Wendy's unique. Meanwhile, Wendy's entered 2026 after an 11.3% decline in same-store sales, with at least 300 restaurant closures planned. So the original Wendy's wins the identity test. It knew exactly what it was. The modern Wendy's wins on choice, but that choice comes with complexity. And maybe that is what happened to the Wendy's we remember. The beef didn't disappear. The Frosty didn't disappear. The square burger didn't disappear. What disappeared was the simplicity surrounding them. Old Wendy's felt like one clear idea: fresh beef, generous food, fair value, recognizable restaurants, and a founder who seemed personally connected to what came across the counter. Today we have more Wendy's than ever on the menu, yet somehow the restaurant can feel less like Wendy's. So next time that square burger lands in front of us, the question isn't really, where's the beef anymore? The beef is still there. The question is whether Wendy's can find the rest of itself again. If you remember the yellow Wendy's era, tell us what you miss most. Were the fries better? Was the salad bar worth remembering? And does Wendy's today still feel like the same restaurant? Drop your verdict below, subscribe, keep the serving reasonable, and keep rising.